This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon. Today I'm going to go through and sort of pull apart a quote that I saw a friend of mine share on Instagram that I thought was interesting. I suppose it's just one of those picture comment things that people share, which got me thinking a little bit, especially I suppose with my frames of reference. And I'll read it out to you and sort of pull it apart, and hopefully you guys can see some value in it. And if you don't, then don't, whatever. All right, cool. So the quote reads, "Nowadays, people are judged for being real, and some people are loved for being fake. Don't you think we have lost our brains?" Now, this was on Instagram, and Instagram is often referred to as this sort of space where people can, really fake their life and put filters on and have this Instagram life and all that sort of stuff, but it's very different to their reality. And I think it was quite ironic the fact that it was posted on there, but I understand the premise, or at least I have my understanding of the premise of being like, well, if I'm being real and people don't like that, they might some people might say attack, but all they're doing is just projecting their opinions for whatever reason, right? They're not really attacking me. There might be people go, they're attacking my character. It's like, character isn't real. Character means a person of a play. So if they're attacking your character, they're not actually attacking you. They're attacking what they think of you, the image that they display of you in their own mind. They're not attacking you. They can't. They're attacking the character that they, perceive you to play, and that's really different. It's a very different space to be in. Now, the thing here about being judged for being real, and then some people are loved for being fake, and it sort of gives us a bit of an idea of like today's current climate of like, okay, well, if something is fake but it is perceived to be perfect, then it's this ideal that people want to move towards. The problem is there is often a comparison of, hang on a sec, that's not me. Then it becomes a self-worth issue of, if I keep on observing this sort of stuff, law of attraction kind of thing going on, and that's all well and good. It's just really incomplete. Right, it's people think positively. That's great, but if you're going to think positively, then you also have to think negatively to know what positive even is in the first place. You can't just think positively because you got to have a frame of reference, right? That's the biggest thing. If we have to have like positive and negative are the same thing, it's the same fucking coin. Because we need negative to know what positive is, and a lot of the time it's just a biased frame of reference anyway. And so this is why the idea is that there isn't actually positive and negative. There's frames of reference of positive and negative, and that's a really big thing to pull apart. So interesting enough, it's like my thoughts around people are judged for being real and people are loved for being fake is my biggest concern. Not to mention, don't you think we have lost our brains, which is a question. I'll get to that in a moment. My biggest concern, if you would call it that, or my biggest, I suppose, curiosity around that is the fact that in both people are judged and people are loved is both external referencing. They're both external authority. It's both going, people are, it's putting value on being judged. It's putting value on being loved. Now, what my concern with all of this is why are we talking about that external referencing? Like, it doesn't matter whether somebody's, real or fake in order to be, judged as in, to love someone is to judge. This is an interesting thing. This is what people don't realize, that if someone goes, I fucking hate you, you're an idiot, and someone goes, oh my God, I love you, you're the best person in the world, they're both a judgment, they're both an opinion, right? But the second one feels nice. We don't realize that going, that shirt looks dumb on you, or that's a really nice shirt, are both judgments. We just don't want the quote unquote negative ones. Right, and this is where it's like, hang on a sec, we're trying to only say we want one side of the coin when it's the same thing. It's just that one feels nicer inside because we're putting over our authority to someone else's opinion of us. If you're being real and someone's judging you, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with their experience of you. If you're being honest, true, and raw to yourself, and somebody's judging that and they're vocalizing that, then it's not about building self-confidence, because that's presupposing that you need to be confident against somebody projecting what's going on for them. That's going on for them. Like, play that back if you need to and really understand that, because what's interesting within this is that if we're trying to be loved, whether we're being fake or being real, we're missing the point. It's about being real. And then in that moment, that is love. And if people love that, great. And if people don't, great. And in that, people are like, oh, but, it's easy to say. It's easier said than done. Every fucking thing is easier said than done. If you're an adult and you're still saying easier said than done, you'll literally sound like a fucking 12-year-old. Like, everything in life worth doing is easier said than done. So go fucking do the things in life worth doing, such as doing the work and learning how to love ourselves. Because it's not about the airy-fairy love my body. It's just like, I'm okay with exactly where I'm at. The other interesting thing around this is that we're also presupposing in this that I'm either being real as my body, how I display my body, or how I display my thoughts. Now, I'm neither my thoughts nor my body. And this is a topic that often comes up. It's like, no. My thoughts and how I display them aren't me. They are things that I observe. My body isn't me. It's the vessel that I was gifted to be on this earth today. Like, I'm not those things. I'm more than that. And I'm also less than that at the same time. And so this is where if we start to worry about being judged for our bodies, we're handing over our authority. We're handing over and expecting everyone to be nice, which is once again just a frame of reference that is going to be different for each and every individual for so many different fucking reasons. And so when we can sit back and start to look at the biggest issue in this quote, which is the external referencing and the external authorities, and then within that it goes, don't you think we have lost our brains? It's like, no, we haven't lost our brains, because people that are trying to be real and fighting the judgment, if you break it down psychologically, it logically makes sense. Like, you're like, oh, that makes sense. I can logically in my brain understand that. And the people that are, so quote unquote, being fake and being loved and are doing that on purpose, it's like if you break down their psychological structure of why they're doing what they're doing, you once again go, that logically makes sense. We haven't lost our brains. The problem is we've lost connection with the rest of us, with the other two intelligence centers. So it's not about losing our brains here. It's more that we've gone into our brains because we're putting higher value on the body. We're putting higher value on the display of thoughts that we have. It's like, if you didn't like this podcast, it doesn't mean you don't like me. It's like, it's the same thing. I don't think that when I just, put out something like this constantly, that everyone's like, every fucking word David says I agree with. I don't care. But B, like, and I mean that in the sweetest way, but like B, it's also going, I don't want you to. That's not the point of it. Like, have your own thoughts and see your own thoughts and be your own person and allow yourself to unravel and unfold and do that. And then become that. And whether I like it or not, it's irrelevant. And whether somebody else, like your parents, like it or not, is also irrelevant. What's relevant is whether it's true for you or not. And if it is true for you, then follow that. Follow that path. Because once we start just tying so much worth to our body, to our thoughts, what we say, what we quote, all that kind of stuff, it's like you're missing the point. You aren't these things. You may be the messenger, you maybe have the vessel, but you're not the body. You're more than that. And once again, less than that at the same time. But if we're handing over this external authority and power, then you will never find, because you're looking for yourself in someone else. You're looking for your worth in somebody else's opinion. You're looking for, love in another person. But none of that shit's out there. It's all on the inside. It's all exactly where it was in the first place. You never lost it. You just covered it up with bullshit. So uncover the bullshit and you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Team, I'm out. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, jump on Facebook, search Mood Prep Online, jump in and join the conversation there. Also, on top of that, thank you very much for listening and tuning in. It's just about to rain here. I hope that's not ruining the podcast for you. But my last thing, back on track. If you found this podcast beneficial, it'll mean the world to me if you would pass it on to somebody else that you think would also find it beneficial. Otherwise, team, I'm out. Thank you very much. Until tomorrow, peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.